Now listen very closely. If you put your ear to the ground, it is said that you can hear the chilling moans and screams of those who succumb to the plague. For right below your feet, ladies and gentlemen, you are standing on top of 50,000 dead!
The wind kicked up a bit, blowing back Tom's hair slightly, the lantern light casting a sinister glow on his face, which only intensified the eeriness of the square. A chill ran up my body, and I shivered. Oh my, could Tom create an effect?
My name is Janice E.C. Coleman, and this is my debut novel, Nightwalker. Nightwalker is a paranormal thriller about an American woman named Anna who moves to London. She attends a ghost tour and meets up with the ghost tour guide, Tom Hall. He's a very enigmatic and handsome man. They hit it off, and through Anna's weird visions and Tom's dark past, they get through their relationship with some really uncanny events. I'd say it's a horror suspense, but it's really also a love story that's darkened by morbidity, psychosis, and plot twists. In writing Nightwalker, I fell in love with the characters as they developed. I sometimes even think that they're real. My family and I traveled to London, and from there I was really able to embellish pretty much most of the book. I really got a feel of the place when I was there, and I put that in Nightwalker. It also does take place in Scotland and a little bit in Annapolis, in fact. So music played a big part in writing the book. I used to stay up real late with my earphones on, listening to bands like The Damned and Screaming Trees and some prog rock music, and that really helped me write it. In fact, it has a soundtrack on my website. There's a playlist not only for what I listen to, but what the characters listen to. My novel has a lot to do with Edgar Allan Poe. You can't really write a suspense horror without having some kind of influence from his canon of work. From William Wilson's Split Personality.
We followed him down and cautiously entered a very dank, barely lit tomb-like room. The walls were all weathered brick, with holding cell doors trapped between the brick walls. The musty smell accosted us all as we went through the arched tunnels. The lanterns gave us no comfort. They only cast an eerie glow.
To the torture in the pit and the pendulum.
I remember the putrid smell, the skin singeing, the humming, and the claustrophobic feeling of not being able to move. I had never felt so much fear or pain in my life.
To the schizophrenic relationship between siblings in the fall of the House of Usher.
And then my sister, she threw me right into the mix of the mosh pit. I remember a sea of black and leather, combat boots, dramatic hairstyles, and colors swarming all around me. The smell of sweat and leather filled my nose. I really didn't know what to do. It was madness. I got pushed, stomped on, kicked. And then something magical happened. I started to fight back. I started to push, stomp, and kick. I came out of there with 1 or 2 bruises, but I felt so exhilarated afterwards. So alive.
To the stalker in The Man of the Crowd.
I stalked painstakingly in the shadows, waiting for my time to pounce. Turning down an alley, I knew my opportunity had arrived. The wind uplifted her blonde hair above her ear, and as the strand fell back into place, I swiftly grabbed her by the neck from behind her and slammed her against the wall.
And to just plain horror itself.
Tom, bleary-eyed, awoke. Focusing as best he could with the throbbing pain in his head, he looked around at the dank room. Propped up against the corner wall, shivering, he felt the cold, hard floor through his jeans. His wrists were bound behind his neck, tied tightly to a pipe. His shoes and socks were gone. As his mind started to clear, more memories resurfaced. He knew this place, knew it all too well.
I would like to thank the Poe House for nominating me, for London being my muse, And for Edgar Allan Poe, of course, the master of the macabre.